Poland, there's a tradition of annually announcing their need for American nuclear warheads for 2023, 2024, and 2025. Coincidence? These statements always come on the eve of some elections. Naturally, for security reasons, although they first loudly expressed their desire to take American warheads from Germany and give them to Poland were voiced back in 2020 when there was no Russian special military operation in sight. Why does Duda need nuclear warheads? This is Ekaterina Tikomarova with you. Hello. Duda once again urged Washington to place nuclear weapons in the Republic, writes the Financial Times. Now he tried his luck under new American conditions. It didn't work with Biden. He already asked Trump, but through the U.S. advisor on Ukraine, Nikita Kellogg.
NATO's borders moved east in 1999, so 26 years later, the military alliance's infrastructure should also move east. To me, it's obvious. I believe it's not only time to do this, but it would also be safer if nuclear weapons were already here on Polish territory.
However, it's not about security when the issue of placing nuclear weapons in Poland arises. Let's abstract from the fact that this is the most deadly weapon existing in cold reason. Poland's security today is ensured by NATO and the alliance's Article 5. Although in Poland itself, there are pessimistic sentiments like, will the U.S. protect anyone at all? And is this article viable? However, in Poland today, there is all the infrastructure to deploy nuclear potential right now.
For this, appropriate airfields are prepared, like in Malbork, like in Ushish, like in the Poznan area, and Sindwindwin. That is, there are airfields that can accept the appropriate means. Delivery, where bombs can be brought accordingly. What bombs are used today? Only one system can be transferred, the B-61. Bombs of various types stored, including in the European part, at 6 air bases. These are Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium. The Poles have trained pilots who perform joint tasks within the framework of the nuclear sharing operation. These are joint nuclear operations. Similar exercises were held recently. This is Steadfast Noon 2024. These are annual exercises which also involved pilots from Poland. Therefore, there are airfields, trained pilots, and appropriate aircraft.
But Poland wants it physically. On its territory, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance quickly commented on this topic.
I haven't spoken with President Trump on this specific issue, but I would be shocked if he supported the spread of nuclear weapons further east into Europe. We must be cautious.
However, Duda's office quickly clarified. No need for new ones. Let's have the old ones. Just take them from Germany, for example, and give them to loyal and more devoted Poland.
It's an important political signal to consider Poland not based on expansion, but on the relocation of this weapon. Not everyone wants this weapon in their country. You can see, for example, Germany, which actually doesn't want it and pushes the US away. Therefore, we say since Germany pushes Americans away, we are ready to do it in Poland.
So for over 15 years, Americans have placed more than 7,000 of their nuclear charges in Europe. The first country in '54 was the UK. Year by year, step by step, Americans stored their missiles and bombs in Germany, the Netherlands, Greece, Italy, Belgium. But they are, of course, controlled by the Americans themselves. And it's not about protection. In Poland's view, American nuclear investment is like an order for merit and loyalty to the states. Germany has failed, pays little into the NATO pot, not enough. Bravo jumps because there are more worthy carriers of American systems, and Poland wants to have them physically. And for this, the necessary infrastructure is required, and thus investment in it from the US. Military hysteria has already led the EU, or rather its engine, to Germany. Switch to American gas, lured industry, so the position of the main overseer of Europe may soon be vacant. There must be an overseer in the barracks. And today, when Trump expresses clear dissatisfaction with European officials, Poland's hour of reckoning may come. If the U.S. hands over its nuclear weapons to Poland, the nature of U.S. relations will change. Yes, Poland is not a wealthy country, Like Germany, but all the better. It will ensure American investments. And Warsaw has long been pulling the blanket of the main European favorite of the states. Nuclear bombs are like diamonds on a favorite. Germany has so many. Poland hasn't received a single one yet. This was Ekaterina Tikomirova with you. See you next time.